Hello everybody, welcome back to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave. Today we are looking at the SD Wing Gundam. This is kit number 366 in the SD line. I believe kit 400 is actually coming out later this year. The SD line has been going on pretty much non-stop since the 1980s. While it has trickled down in quantity recently, they've kept the same numbering system since. So yeah, I think it's actually the highest numbered Gunpla series ever made, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, this is the box. It's like a little half box, so it's about the size of like one of the build custom kits, maybe a bit thicker. It's got some nice box art on the front. It says Wing Gundam. You can't really see there, but it's basically the EW version, as it says down there. I hate it when they call these the EW versions. I always refer to them as the Vercause, and I always will, regardless of what Bandai calls them, because this never showed up in Endless Waltz. Yes, I know there's a manga called Endless Waltz, but that's just confusing and stupid. This is the Wing Gundam Vercotomy, and it always will be. Which is fine, because honestly, it's probably my favorite of Kotoki's redesigns. The Death Scythe Hell was cool, but this thing just takes the cake. It takes the case and the cake, because it looks really cool. He added a ton of detail to it, and it just looks great. In an SD form, it still looks pretty darn good. Now, SD kits, they're known for being kind of not that great, but I looked into this one a bit, and it looked pretty nice. It looked like it had some nice color separation. I'll just quickly show up here in the back of the box. Side of the box, I should say. As you can see, it quote-unquote transforms, just like most versions of the Wing Gundam. Looks like he's got sort of like the sword gimmick going on here. And it's only an 800 yen kit, so, you know, not much that could go wrong. So, let's bring in the star of the show right here. Little Mr. Wing Gundam Verca. And as you can see, it looks really nice. This is one of the older type SDs. By older, I mean not that old, but like it came out in, I think like, I can't find a release date on it here. Oh, actually 2011. So it's not that old. But you know, a lot of the mainline SDs have like these sort of very childish looking big googly eyes with little pupils in them, and they come with like blinky eyes and winky eyes and stuff. This guy just has normal Gundam eyes. They're a little bigger compared to the head than they normally would be, but overall not too bad. Color separation on this for an SD is phenomenal. There's only a couple stickers that I used on here. You do get more if you want to put some red on the wings. I think there's some little blue ones for the side of the chest there to cover up that little bit of yellow that's peeking through. There's the red for the flaps on the wings. But honestly, I don't think either of those are necessary because this kit has pretty darn good color separation. There are gray stickers on the shoulders and then blue stickers on the side of the ears. Green there, and then the usual green sensors and head cameras like you get on any Gundam. And then there's the blue on these flaps back here, and that is it for stickers. Everything else you see here is color separation. Way better than those garbage EX standard kits we've been getting lately. So yeah, coming in for a close-up here, I just want to show you off some of the detail, show off to you guys some of the detail here, because there's some really nice detail on this kit. It's just, I love this. Visually, this kit is absolutely stunning. Do pardon the slightly iffy nub marks. These SD kits have a different gate design that makes it easy to pop the parts off the runner. Unfortunately, it makes it very hard to cut the parts off the runner because the runner has this really weird shape that makes it almost impossible to cut close without just ripping the piece off the runner. So you kind of have to build them by ripping. I tried cutting a few of them, I tried cutting some more, I tried shaving, tried a bunch of different ways. None of them really worked out, so he's a little nubby. But let's take a look at articulation. Well, actually no, because first I want to point out something about this kit. He has some loose part issues. Now, just because the way the V-fin's attached, if you push down on it, it will pop off. I'm not sure if that's like a safety thing, so like someone doesn't stab their eye out on it, but it gets kind of annoying. The other problem is that as you're moving the neck around, the head is really loose, and it's just barely connected on here. And the waist is only slightly stronger, so more often than not, you're going to end up with your Wing Gundam in 3 separate parts, which is kind of annoying. I mean, you could tighten that up, so I guess it's not a huge deal, but considering there's not a lot actually grabbing onto the ball here, I'm not sure how effective tightening it up would be. But anyway, let's come in and look at the articulation. You get a little bit of funky chicken twitching. It tips up until it pops off, which is basically not at all. Tips down until it pops off. You can rotate it a bit, but that's basically it. I mean, it'll kind of pop off if you try to do anything with it. Wings are on ball joints. They do the normal things you'd expect ball joints to do. The shoulders are on swing-out polycaps, so they come forwards. They go up a fair bit. His arms will pop out of the sockets if you go too high, but you can get them up to about there. You get a nice single-jointed elbow. You get ball-jointed wrists that are basically swivels. And you get a torso waist swivel. You can't really tip it much without it coming out. And as you can see, the whole thing is kind of going all wibbly-wobbly. He's got ball joints in the hip, ball joints in the ankle. He's actually got a fair bit of ankle tilt. But, you know, you don't get an SD for the articulation. You get them because they sit there and they look cute, and they're a fun, cheap, simple little build. They're good for kids, they're good for beginners, they're good for practicing your painting skills. And I think this guy hits all of those marks pretty much perfectly. Now, he's not completely unarmed. He does come with his own set of accessories. You get those weird things that the Wing Gundam Verkaw always seems to have, which are these racks that go on the arms, and they have extra canisters in them for the beam rifle. Now, these are supposed to be gray. You don't get stickers or anything for them. You had to paint them if you want to be fully show accurate or manga accurate, I suppose. But these just pop right on the arms, and they look pretty nice. I like them. I mean, they don't really make a lot of sense. They're a little clunky, but they're kind of a neat design. You get the beam rifle. It's the EW Wing Gundam's beam rifle. It's pretty standard. You pop it in here. This blue part's a little loose, but it's not a big deal. Then you get a shield. The problem with this shield, well, first of all, the good thing, that's not a sticker. That is solid plastic right there. Please do this more, Bandai. You should not be using stickers for things like this. But the way this works is that the shield attaches with this hook around the inside, so you can really only attach the shield to the underside of the arm. I mean, maybe you could like flip this around, attach to the top, but you can't have the shield on the outside like a shield's supposed to go. Not a big fan of that. But still, I mean, for the most part, it's alright so far. Now, there's one kind of fun gimmick that this has that they showed off on the box a bit, was that if you take the gun, you can stand the handle up like this. You can pop this thing off. You take the connector off of here, and then you take this and you kind of line up all these tabs and slots, and everything kind of just goes together like so. And then you rip his wings clean off. And then there's these little tabs right here. They slot into the side of the gun, and you will be left with a pretty fun looking sword. And he's got a little bit of weight issues holding this thing. I mean, what kit wouldn't? It's pretty darn heavy, and he's got pretty weak waist, so that doesn't really surprise me. But with a little bit of fiddling, as you can see, you can get him to hold it all right. If you're willing to take the tabs out of the holes a little bit, you can tip these in more and make a more complete blade on the sword. I kind of like the look of that. But it's a fun little gimmick, and that's what's fun about SD, is to just do little fun stuff like this. Now, this guy does transform just like every version of the Wing Gundam. It's probably the worst Wing Gundam transformation I've ever seen. You basically just rotate the arms, tip the feet down, put him on his face, and then stick the shield on the back of his head. Just like with basically every Wing Gundam, and it looks just as stupid as all the others do. I'm not going to show it. I don't like the Wing Gundam's transformation. If anything, I think it detracts from the kit. So, I'm just going to look at this kit as a whole, as it is right now. I think it's pretty damn good. I'd give this kit, on basis of appearance and functionality alone, I'd give it probably like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. But due to the significant structural issues that this kit has, I'm probably going to demote it to a 6. But if you have the ability to tighten up these joints, it would probably jump right back up to an 8. So yeah, this is Second Soundwave. This is just a quick sort of build I did just to kind of get back in the groove. And next week, or whenever I get around to building again, we'll be building something a bit bigger and a lot more epic. So until then, see ya!